So more depth into the corporate strategy. A couple of ones that we'll look at: pioneering. The words kind of help define what they are. You could probably already imagine what they are. Pioneering, imitative, hybrid. Then after that, we're going to look at what's called, I think it's called as-all matrix, where it's talking about how to kind of create this strategy or what it is that you want to do based on this little matrix. And then last one, talk about corporate social responsibility. Does anybody guess, what do you think, Austin, what do you think like a pioneering strategy might be? Just based on the word pioneering. Just guess.
A creating strategy?
Or what? Creating a strategy, yeah? What do you think?
Producing new and unique products.
Producing new and unique things. Alex, what do you think pioneering might be?
Maybe some sort of breakthrough from a norm and making a new product.
Yeah, something new. James, what would imitative mean? What's imitative? What could imitative? Solomon, what do you think imitative could be? Strategy. Based on the word imitative.
Samsung makes a good phone, Apple makes a crap.
Okay, good. It may be the other way around, but anyway. Good. So you kind of understand what the words mean just based on their actual title. So you found that corporate strategy. Now the details of these different ones. So it's exactly that. Imitative versus pioneering. This isn't a good photo, actually, as an example. I think I'm going to skip to the next one. Yeah. So imitative or pioneering is when it's this brand new product or this brand new idea. You guys know what the pioneers are, right? People that go out and pioneer things for the first time.
People say artists are pioneers of the future.
Artists are the pioneers of the future. You hear that?
Or just the druggies of today.
Which what?
Or just the drug addicts of today.
Oh, come on, man. That's not necessary. So one thing about being a pioneer is that it does take a lot of time and energy and money to be able to do it. You remember that Rogers that curve, right? So in that Rogers characteristics curve, that adaptation and innovation, these are the people that are the innovators, that are the ones that are pushing the idea first before it even gets developed and before it's even completely accepted by the market. Yeah? So what this is, it's kind of like something else that may help, or because it's expensive, it takes a lot of time and money to do it. Sometimes it's run by bigger organizations. So things like Google, what they do is, they have their solid grounding in a financial, whatever, they've got a lot of money, they have everything they can do as Google. But then you have a Google X, right? Google X is this research and development laboratory that they use to try to come up and invent and create new products. So it happens outside of whatever the standard or whatever the basis is. I don't know which one came first or how they all connect, but Tesla and SpaceX are kind of all part of that. I think.
Tesla was first.
Yeah, that's what I think. And then he's like, oh, I've got
Tesla, then the funds from Tesla made SpaceX, then made SolarCity.
So, and it all kind of works together. And I think all of the funding actually came from PayPal. What? I think most of the money came from PayPal too, because Elon Musk sold his shares of PayPal. That's where he had most of the money. So it costs money to start and be a pioneering firm. Okay, pioneering strategy. Does that make sense? It's also interesting too, because so that's basing a lot of those strategies in something grounded versus, but Kickstarter might be a way to kind of get other products or projects happening faster than just following whatever or creating something new without having that financial grounding that you need. So it's just interesting to think about. It costs a lot of money because research and development is expensive. That's why. Risk is very, very high, so that's why some people don't want to do it. Okay. Imitative, it's where, just like the word says, imitating, copying one thing from the next. So the iPhone came out in 2007. Galaxy came out with the same thing in 2009. Something similar in 2009. Okay? No, nothing? Okay, good. Pretty simple. Got it? So, positives, advantages, and disadvantages. Pioneering versus imitative. Pioneering, more risks of failure, more expensive, but benefits, new technology, potentially larger gain, first to product, first to market as well too. So they have a lot to gain, but also a lot to lose. Imitative relies on the same designs. It's very similar. There's no market pool. It's just kind of sending the same thing out, but it's less expensive, better success rate, better possibility of success. Okay? Understand the differences? And prayer? Like the differences in your hand size? Okay. Good. Then, so this is kind of like what some of that Google does too, but there is a way that they can combine imitative and pioneering strategies using a hybrid strategy. So it's kind of the same thing, except all they're doing is similar to what Google X did, where they just push something out and come up with a new idea, but they still have a grounding in whatever a solid financial foundation. So this is, but it's a corporate strategy, so that's why they put it into their corporate strategy, like IKEA does some of that stuff, but where it's still, where it's in the strategy as opposed to something completely separate. Does that make sense? So where Google X is kind of a separate entity, what some companies can do is make that part of their strategy and try to combine it together, but with less risk, less research, and maybe less financial gain. Okay? On your whiteboards, what I'd like you to do is, or in your notes, what I want you to do is find an example of pioneering, imitative, and hybrid. What company is it? And what are those types of products or products that they might be selling? It may or may not be products, but find something that exists. So, Vans or Dr. Martens made shoes, but then rather than just making the actual products, they also tried to combine it and do something a little bit different, and they made bags. Imitative, Vans and Converse, they kind of just make the same type of shoe. Pandora, it's this, they sell jewelry. So it was this new, different, special type of bracelets that have never existed before that they created. I don't know the details about that one, but that was what I found before. Okay? So, find an example.